During the Industrial Revolution, the relationship between capital and labor was shifting. One of the major ways was through the slightly newer class system. Factory owners and their families increased the size and wealth of the middle class, which flourished in the 19th century. The workers of these factories became the modern working class, and they greatly outnumbered the factory owners. An increasing sense of differentiation between the two classes emerged, which Marxists called class consciousness. The introduction of the factory was met unenthusiastically. The first factories were cotton mills located on rivers. As they were mostly in sparsely populated areas, only people in the immediately surrounding area were able to work there. They often found the work boring and monotonous in comparison to the more relaxed schedule and regulations traditionally found in cottage households. As industries grew larger, a general skill became less important than a formal education, and by 1830, British industrialists were more likely to have inherited their enterprises. The urbanization of the factory proved to make conditions worse. The work was long and hard, and there were oppressive overseers constantly punishing workers for any kind of slacking. During the early years of the Industrial Revolution, war also contributed to lower wages. There were benefits to factory life, however. The long hours resulted in more money overall for the family. Also, more industry resulted in more and a larger variety of products, which increased the quality of life. The family unit suffered during this time. Traditionally, the family worked together in the home, and this was continued in early factories. The wife and children worked under the man, who was paid for all of their work. But control soon shifted to impersonal managers and overseers, who treated all workers in the same strict manner despite age. The question of the morality of child labor was raised. The Factory Act of 1833 was passed that limited the amount of hours children could work, and thus the laboring family unit was broken up. The idea of women being inferior in regards to labor also arose at this time. The man became the breadwinner, working primarily for wages outside the household, and the women became responsible for the children and the home, rarely working for wages outside of the home. In fact, the Mines Act of 1842 prohibited women and young children from doing underground mine work of any kind. So as family members were shifting away from one another, members of the working class were beginning to form a common identity. They formed alliances called unions, which gave them power against the oppressive managers and overseers. Things were changing for the better.